Ashwini Kumar, Chairman IBA, Srimati Arundhati Bhattacharya, Deputy Chairman IBA, Shri Y.C. Modi, Additional Director CBI, Senior Officers from CBI, Chief Executives of Banks and Financial Institutions, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a privilege to be part of this inaugural ceremony of 7th conference, which has a theme, combating financial crimes. I must thank the CBI for holding this conference at very appropriate time. On one hand, we see our economy all set to fly, even when the entire world is experiencing a financial depression. We are an economy which is growing at the rate of more than 7%. And with the demographic advantage we have, the entire world is looking at our country as a new destination for investment, a new destination for manufacturing, and the landscape, which was erstwhile dominated by countries like China, is opening up for India to dominate. On one hand, this is the opportunity, but on the other hand, whenever we look at the domestic situation, we find that there's always a sense that not the financial availability or flexibility is not available up to the mark, or rather the business community feels or talks that the financial flexibility in the Indian markets is not commensurate with what our ideas of taking this economy to the next level are. And so the economy is into a catch-22 type of situation where there are a lot of opportunities, but lot of investment is blocked into various frauds. Somebody may call it a business plan failure, but in most of the cases, like as rightly said by the Honorable Director, the Kingfisher's case, where we could see that the company is going to docks, but at the same time, the people who used to run company are enjoying and they are earning money. Their property, their own properties are going up. The company is getting poorer, the banks are getting poorer, and those who own the company are getting richer, and thereby creating a situation where the financial flexibility of the financial sector comes into a lot of stress. I think this situation we need to combat. unless we have a proper framework where such situations are dealt quickly, so that the public money or the investors' money is not stuck in NPAs, and it can be used elsewhere. There can be a turnaround in some sense, so that the money stuck in the NPAs is brought back. I think the financial flexibility which we want in our country cannot be achieved. And I think why this conference is very important, because there was a time when there was a thinking that the financial frauds or financial irregularities for the institutions is a stigma, and we wanted to hide them under the carpet. But I think whenever there is a situation of financial irregularity or a crime, the best thing is to confront it. It's not a stigma. In fact, by not confronting it, we create a situation where our financial institutions earn a bad name. And today, when we are into a global economy, the investors not just look at the demand or the opportunity, they also look at the entire framework in which they are going to work. How enforceable is the financial liability in this country is also a benchmark on which the investors invest. And I think that this is a great opportunity when the institutions, people from the financial sectors and the law enforcing agency or the investigators are coming together to deliberate on the situation which has arisen, and at the same time forming a strategy that such situations don't arise, and if they ever arise, they should be combated with a sense of urgency, so that people don't take law for a ride. Unfortunately, in our country, many times, due to our entire law enforcement and legal system, it is so time taking that people feel that by defrauding, it's just a matter of few days of a custody, if at all you get it, and then for years together you can actually duck the punishment and enjoy with the money which you have earned through defrauding the financial institutions. So I think basically the strategy should not be just aiming at punishing the culprit, but it should also aim that whatever has gone should come back. Because in mostly financial frauds, we see that the culprits are many times punished, but the public money or the investors' money which has been defrauded never comes back. So I think the formulation of strategy where not only a culprit is punished fast, but also whatever has gone comes back, and there also comes a role of legislation. I think we also have to look at the legislations, and if needed, we should change them, because many times the people who defraud devise a strategy in a way that the properties which they have acquired or the money which they have defrauded is either transferred out of country or is transferred on certain names of certain other people who ultimately take care of their interests. Although we have many acts like Benami Transactions Act and various acts, but I feel that every coming day poses a new challenge. It's a situation where the fraudsters are more smart than us because they are focused on fraud and we are focused on the entirety. So unless we have a strategy which is smarter than the fraudsters and a framework which actually takes care of all these things, I think we won't be able to combat the financial crimes in a way in which we really want to. I must congratulate the director of CBI for holding this conference, because I think it would also give a sense of confidence to the financial institutions to come out in urgency whenever they find that such frauds are happening. Secondly, I think we need to have more focus on capacity building, because financial crimes is an area which is quite niche, and of late the financial crimes also involve the cyber crimes, and so many new ideas are devised to create and to make such financial crimes that unless we have a pool of people who have a capacity to deal with the situation, a balance sheet or a company's accounts is a complex thing, and unless every single officer is trained to look into the intricacies. Apparently anybody can read, but there are certain things which you have to read between the lines and to dig it out. There I think a lot of capacity building is needed. We've also seen a case where a web of companies is created, and earlier it was a web of companies which was created in the country. Now the cases are like the web of companies are created in several countries. So you have companies in the same name, 100 companies in one country, the holding company is in another country. If you look at that holding company, 100 same name companies you will find, again a holding company in third country. So many type of strategies have been created by the fraudsters that it involves multiple stakeholders. I am happy that CBI, which is a premier agency, has in the past few years gained a lot of capacity to look into this type of financial frauds, and they have been able to dig out from several countries as well. But I think this entire strategy, where the multiple stakeholders are there, needs to evolve with the defined roles of multiple stakeholders and a joint capacity building, so that we create a real firewall against such frauds. I think we also need to involve the consultants into this process, because mostly we have seen that the consultants, whether they are financial consultants, the chartered accountants, They are the people who really create the proposals. And I don't want to blame every one of them, but we have always seen that few of them are known for getting a finance for you in all eventualities, whether you have the papers or you don't have. I think we need to discourage this type of people. And many times, those who can get the things done are rated high. He's a good consultant. Why is a good consultant? Even if you don't have required papers, he will be able to get a job done for you. I think somewhere we need to create a situation where we must point out that only those who do the work in a proper framework are good consultants, not those who can get the things done. And for that, I think even the banks have to institutionalize certain things. Wherever the objectivity is less, wherever there is a discretion, or where there is a unnecessary rigidity, these things happen. Because when you stop somebody for unwanted things, then the discretion comes in, and many times the discretion is exercised in improper way. So I think that even in the banking sector, if we have certain procedures simplified and institutionalized, today for an outsider like me, the entire process is opaque. It's either known to the consultant or known to a person who is dealing. I think it needs to be more transparent. If we keep these systems opaque, and if subjectivity is there, that certain rules are exercised for certain people and certain rules are not, I'm totally concerned about the concerns of bank, that they want the money to come back. But often we have seen that the common people are not the big defaulters, but those who have actually got a good size of the entire cake are the ones who eat and don't pay. So I think there we need to look more. And about, I think the financing part, since the entire investment sector is evolving, it's creating new type of opportunities. And if a proper assessment of those opportunities is not done at the financing level, there is a huge scope to defraud the bank. So in entirety, I think if you look at this, we need to have more deliberations. We need to have the case studies to be analyzed. We need to have the learnings out of it. We need to share the learnings and come out with a strategy where all stakeholders know that it's their prime responsibility that the public money and the investors' money is protected, is invested properly, and proper people get proper financing. I'm sure with this conference and all the deliberations in the conference, you will come out with a strategy so that this opportunity which our country has will be leveraged, and with the participation of all stakeholders will take our economy to next level. I wish this conference all the best. I thank the CBI and also the IBA for holding this conference and giving me opportunity to speak to you. Thank you. Jai Hind.